You're watching Community BattleCast PrimeTime. You see the face of Sybert, our first live-action episode, an exclusive interview, a new segment, and all the regular content you've come to know. Community BattleCast PrimeTime starts now. You're logged into Community BattleCast PrimeTime. I'm your host, Silas Sybert Leopold, in front of a stark white background because I'm too cheap for a proper set. And you may be wondering, Sybert, why do we see you? You host the BattleCasts. And you would be right, but this week, I'm hosting the main episode because I have personal news to share with you. Come mid-June, I will be flying across the US to the East Coast to join a friend of mine in the production of a project. Now, why am I telling you this? Just cool your jets! I'm getting to that, ace! During the time of my absence, we will need someone to take over the video production of CBCPT. You will need to be a competent editor as well as have basic motion graphic skills and creativity. If this sounds like something that you can do, you can hit me up at my email for more information. Moving on to CNC news, which is mostly for Tiberium alliances. 2 weeks in a row. Just cool your jets! Anyways, Phenomic has posted an interview with the Global TA Community Manager, David, as part of the TA Team Spotlight. It's great to see developers touching base with their community and introducing their team to everyone. Also, they have other community managers spotlighted as well. You can check them out here. It's pretty cool. The Shepherd has returned, brothers and sisters. The Brotherhood of Nod has risen up and arrived in Tiberium alliances. You can read the patch notes and then dive into the action with your army of Nod on the TA site right now. Also, the TA team has released a high-resolution image of the Brotherhood, which you can snag here. Also, if you're really into Tiberium alliances, you should check out the survey that they have going so you can tell them what you think. The all-time classic Hell March from Red Alert 1 made it into a list of top 100 video game themes of all time, ranking in at number 7. And the themes above it are classics, but it's great to see it in the top 10, which is awesome and well-deserved. If you want to see what other games made the top 100, you can check out the list for yourself. For International Labor Day, CNC Saga featured a post about the most important unit in the entire CNC universe. The engineer. Just cool your jets! You can read this funny and insightful post on their official page. For those of you who can't get enough CNC4 action, you should check out the GameReplays.org CNC4 custom map competition. There are some awesome maps that have already been submitted, and there's still time for you to join and get your custom map on. But you better hurry because the contest ends June 1st. This brings us to our next segment, our exclusive interview with EA Sire. That's right, we had an opportunity to sit down with the global community manager for CNC.
First of all, hi, yeah, it's me. I made it on the show. Really awesome to be on the show because I always watch all of the episodes. Let's get into my questions.
So, Sire, how long have you been the community manager for Command & Conquer, and how did you end up here?
I started 2007. In Europe, there's a local EA community team, which is responsible for local community management in Europe, doing assistant work for all the other community managers out there. And in February 2011, the team here brought me on board as the new global community manager. And actually relocated in October last year, and now I'm sitting in Los Angeles with the team and trying to make a new awesome CNC game. Started as a normal fan, running websites and fan sites and forums, and then yeah, somehow got into the way of being part of EA from one of the publishing side and now pretty much from the development side.
What did you do before this?
I went to a German college. I probably don't have this tall name because no one will know. I studied computer science, so I actually do something else. That's how you normally end up, right? You study one thing and you end up working and do something completely different. I'm glad that I made the right choice and can now work on my beloved CNC franchise.
What drives you as a community manager? What gives you the passion to do what you do?
My passion, actually, I know it sounds cheesy, but it's just true. My passion comes from you guys' passion because it's great to see what the community can do if you support them. And I think CNC is a really unique spot where we actually got such a big and old community, and they're really doing so much stuff even with games that are not that well received or like some years of downtime where we actually don't have a CNC game out there. And I think it's just crazy, and that's why I really love to be community manager for CNC because, in my opinion, it's just probably the best franchise you can work in.
So how long have you been into playing video games? And then the second part of it is, how long have you been into Command & Conquer specifically?
My first game overall was the first SimCity. So I love SimCity, by the way. The first CNC game, I have to thank my sister for it because she was playing Red Alert 1 in 1996 on her PC. And I saw it and was like, oh, what's that? And it got me hooked from day one, so yeah.
So now we get into the biggest part of this interview, the thing that everyone wants to know about. Generals 2, give us something to work with. A screenshot, even just a behind-the-scenes photo of, you know, the team at their computers.
So right now I'm holding a new screenshot of the game into my mic, but unfortunately you cannot see it. just kidding. There were some rumors in the forum that the game is canceled, whatever. I take the opportunity here and say, no, it's not canceled. We're all working hard on it. It's just with the new direction of, you know, getting more into quality, it's hard to actually showcase new stuff in the early stage of the development, because we want to make sure, hey, what we showcase is something really cool you guys will all like. I know that like hardcore fans really don't care. They want to see like everything, even though it's not as final. I know that because I'm pretty much one of you guys. But I'm working to get something new for you guys, even though it's just a screenshot, hopefully. I don't know when it will be.
What is your role at Victory Games other than managing the community?
Actually quite a lot. I got my hands on a lot of stuff. With community management, you got all the stuff coming along with it, which is like online marketing, and I'm helping our product manager who's like responsible for the top line marketing direction. Right now, one of my biggest responsibilities is working closely with our design team to talk over the features they want to introduce and see if that's something you guys will like or not, and then make changes to it, and obviously planning future events that might happen in the near future.
Roughly how many people work at Victory Games?
So there's one crazy thing where actually big companies do never release their exact numbers for projects. I don't know why that's the case. It's like probably they want to be mysterious. I don't know. I think it's like pretty much the same team size as in previous CNC games, and given the point that we just have more time to actually develop the game, I think we'll have a great game that comes out of it. And even though Frostbite 2 is kind of challenging, so that the whole team is really working hard to do the best they can to make that as epic as possible.
Is Victory Games making anything besides Generals 2 that you can talk about?
Obviously, with such a passionate team here, we got like a bunch of ideas. I mean, we talk about it in lunch and like, hey, what do you think about that and that? But for now, we're like, everything besides Generals 2 is on hold. So we're really fully focused on doing Generals 2 and making it great so that you guys can have something to play with, which is great. And then once we got a great game out there, we can go along and see what we can do in the future.
What kind of future do you see for the CNC community?
Depending on how well the game is received, which I think will be what we'll see, the community will go back to the strength it had before, with hopefully getting in a lot of new people back into the community, because a lot of people dropped off, they played different RTS games out there, or just said like, okay, I'm focusing on real life right now. I think we'll have a great future for the community.
So now we're moving away from kind of the core questions into just some other questions that are a little bit more frivolous, so to speak. What type of games do you like to play?
I'm normally a huge gamer, but right now it's just some time missing. But normally I love RTS games, of course, but overall I like to play the RPGs. Like there's one game that just came out today, so hopefully I will find some time to actually get hands on, and I love to play first-person shooters. And there's one cool thing, which I think is cool, even though I never thought I would play it. It's their Imperium Alliances. They're like a couple of us here in the studio that play it quite heavily, which I never thought it would happen.
And the follow-up question, what games are you currently playing?
I just finished Battlefield 3. I know it's a shame that it took me so long to actually finish single player. Now besides hopefully the new game, I try to get some time in Star Wars every once in a while, which is eating a lot of time actually, which is bad. But yeah, I think there are not that many games I'm playing right now due to just I don't have time to play them.
Now, this has been a big question and a big thing for me, and I'm sure a lot of other people as well, but any chance we can see the return of the Command & Conquer store?
So a couple of months ago, or several months ago, we had a nice survey about asking about merchandising, store experiences, and I think there was a purpose behind it, so I think there is something coming.
Alright, and that basically wraps up the interview. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the viewers, to the fans out there?
First, I want to thank you guys for doing Community BattleCast PrimeTime, because I think it's a really great project. I love watching CNC TV back in the days when we introduced it, and now seeing you guys doing pretty much a community follow-up is really awesome to see. And you guys are doing that for one of the greatest communities ever out there. So guys out there, just wait for it, we're hopefully doing a great game, which everybody will like out there. I hope we can please you all and grow back to a strong family. So keep up the awesome work out there.
First item up isn't really a mod, but it does showcase the community's love for some of the classic CNC titles, going as far as a graphics patch for Tiberian Sun, Red Alert 2, and Yuri's Revenge. The CNC graphics patcher is designed to speed up rendering and help the games work a little bit better with some of the modern OSs. You can pick it up at any time. Tiberium Secrets has posted an update showing off some of their new structures for one of their new armies. You can read the full post as well as add this mod to your watch list now, Commanders. Dawn of the Tiberium Age is a standalone mod for Tiberian Sun that brings the action of the original game to the Tiberian Sun engine, featuring a classic mode for that old school feeling and an enhanced version that adds new features and units. This one is definitely worth a download if you, like some Tiberian Sun action. Rise of the Reds has posted an update on General Bradley and showed off a new tank that the USA commanders get to use when they use the general in the field. Why do we keep featuring this mod? Because it's awesome! Get it now, comrade! Tiberium Wars Advanced has released version 1.72. It fixes a couple of bugs and tweaks the balance just a little bit more. This is a good one to check out as well, and you can pick it up now. Open Source RA has just released a new version. If you didn't catch it the first time it was on the show, OpenRA is an open source implementation of Westwood's original Red Alert. This is a pretty big update too, so if you have the older version or if you never grabbed it the first time around, now's your chance. That's right, for this episode we'll be highlighting a few community-made maps. Take it away, Nod Soldier Girl.
Today we have Yellow Snow. It's a Red Alert 2 map made by Thrawn28, and it features a healthy dose of tech buildings, including 8 oil derrick and an airfield to allow you to drop reinforcement. It's a medium-sized snow map with dimensions of 100 by 100 and starting locations that are fairly spread out, which don't lend themselves to team play because of the distance. This is a 2 to 4 player map with choke points leading in and out of every base, and enough money to last to the late game apocalypse spam. It seems this map is best suited for 1v1s or 4-player free-for-all matches. At first glance, it seems all starting locations are equal, but a closer examination reveals different. For example, one starting location only has 1 choke point, but no immediate access to oil derricks or gems. This is a fun map to comp stomp or to simply play with friends. Next, we move on to Extreme Cold. It's fittingly another map set in the snow, but this time in General 0 Hour, with support for the Shockwave mod. And this map is made by Admiral, a 3v3 map that is designed for north versus south play and has mostly open ground. This allows for large ground battles and lots of building space. Each player starts with immediate access to a full supply dock and oil derrick. There are 4 supply piles between each team member. In the middle of the map there are 2 additional supply docks with 6 supply piles nearby and a fortified oil derrick on the left and right. The map is medium to large in size and will take a Humvee 30 seconds to go from one starting location to one directly across. Next up we have Valley of Tears. Is a beautiful 1v1 map for Kane's Wrath by Chris that has some cool terrain. Along with the amount of tech structures only found in custom maps, the map is split by a nearly dried up riverbed that is covered in green Tiberium, with a bridge spanning the distance. There are 2 green Tiberium fields that are close by and require minimal base creeping to reach both. An additional blue field for each side is separated from the starting locations by a small ridge. The tech structures include 3 Tiberium spikes for each player and an expansion hub at the north and south of the riverbed. The map is large enough to discourage many rush builds, as it takes rifle squads a minute to get directly across and a pit bull 30 seconds. There are structures to garrison at the north and south sides of the map, and that's worth sticking an infantry squad to spot any sneaky attacks that might be headed your way. The next map we have, Tournament Dam, is a great looking large 1v1 map that features an awesome dam that is namesake, and it's based off the map Blue Zone Dam. You start off with a medium green field and a slightly smaller green field nearby. In the south is an awkwardly placed green Tiberium field that will be easy to harass aircraft, a blue field in the north, and will be hostily contested in the late game as the green fields dry up. Much like the last map, in this map has a long rush distance, but with the dam, the rush distance is even longer, taking a pit bull with a full 42 seconds to travel between bases. There's a Tiberium spike for each player surrounded by civilian structures in the south. Destructible bridges can be utilized to cut off attack routes to expansions and your base, making Air Force essential for this map. Hexalock Lake is a Red Alert 3 map by Mark Shellbrook and has somewhat hexagon-shaped lake with small islands spread throughout it. This lake occupies much of the map. Geared towards a 2v2v2 gameplay, this is non-symmetrical, which makes position and faction especially important. One member of each team spawns in the lake and is closer to the opposing team than their teammate. The land players have easy to secure expansion and oil derrick, while the nearby expansions for the and water players are extremely close together for all three teams. Additional text structures and expansions litter the sides of the map and will be critical for victory. Games on this map will feature action from the beginning and won't stop until a victorious team emerges. And that's all we have.
The BattleCast 5. That's right, this episode we've got 5 matches for you guys. And this time, I, Doomtanker, am your host. So let's rock this. Game 1 is a classic Generals match where we have Murder as the red GLA in the bottom, and Faugwitz is the pink USA on the top of Tournament Desert. Missile defenders and Humvees put some pressure on Murder's base. Murder won't stand for it, so he starts to utilize technical strike forces to do some damage of his own. Paladins level Murder's base on the left, while Scorpion tanks with toxic shells take out Faugwitz's main. Both players fall back until Faugwitz finally builds up enough forces to bust into Murder's right side base and clean it out. But Murder's has a sneaky tunnel exit built in the north side of the map and is able to unload Scorpions to take out Faugwitz's undefended base and start rebuilding his own. Both players switch sides and try unsuccessfully to destroy each other's base until finally Murder can dial W for win. Moving to 0 hour, but staying on the same map, we have Ireland, aka Caro, as the red demolition general in the bottom, and Torrio, aka Dackle, playing the orange demolition general in the south in this mirror matchup. Technicals and terrorists make strikes around the map as both players get their palaces and black markets up. Both players engage in small skirmishes around the map, and Dackle builds up a scud storm. He fires at once before taking heavy losses from Angry Mob. Dackle strikes back and is able to do some damage to Caro's southern base, but Caro has a fully operational base to the west. Both players unsuccessfully try to kill each other off when it comes down to Caro's final barracks streaming out terrorists toward Dackle's command center, but Dackle has a heroic quad cannon and is able to pull off the win. Dr. Strangelove is the red GDI, and I Love Eam is the cyan GDI in this Tiberium Wars on Tournament Desert. Eam gets both spikes for an early econ boost, and both players creep toward their expansions, and shortly thereafter move to their third Tiberium field. Oh, the beautiful crystals. Eam moves in on the Doctor's west expansion while the Doctor tries to do some damage to Eam's east expansion. Both hold each other off, but Eam techs up to railguns and mammoths and executes a snatch and grab on one of the Doctor's MCVs. Fast forward, and the Doctor's ion cannon timer has reached 0 twice. When the smoke and the rubble clear, Eam is out of power, out of money, and when his heroic pit bull goes down, he throws in the towel after a 45-minute epic match. Game 4 is in Kane's Wrath, and we've got Pulse as the purple Traveler 59 on the left, Unleashed as the red Traveler 59 on the right, and this map is Tournament Rift. Pulse goes for a fast tech and a couple mechapedes. Unleashed will have none of it, with a mind control of the mechapedes with cultists, while he gains control of all 4 Tiberium spikes. Both players expand south, and Unleashed sets up a defensive line in the middle to combat the mecha spam. Pulse counters by getting an Eradicator, which causes Unleashed to follow suit. One after another, the Eradicators go down, and they are rebuilt, and go down again. This cycle continues until Pulse finally gets a heroic Eradicator. After he recycles Unleash's forces, Unleashed unleashes the GG. Our final game is in Red Alert 3 on Fire Island. Starting as the green allies in the northeast is Technique, and as the blue empire in the southwest is Dwaylen. Infantry wars in the east start this game off in style as Dwaylen is able to crush Technical's forces and push into his main base. Technique is forced to use MCV in conjunction with Riptides to finally put an end to Dwaylen's warriors. Technique made great use of his spies, but Dwaylen has a hidden expansion and a huge army. A huge army is great and all, but what do you do when they could so easily be bribed by Technique? Especially when he's bribing King Onis right before the big battle. Despite his Dwaylen's strong play, it wasn't enough to bring home the win.
First up in our community fan art section has Fevered Dreams bringing us her own Allied Dolphin poster, Squeak and Destroy. Kateria brings us a funny Generals comic strip titled Tag. This awesome piece featuring everyone's favorite Soviet sniper comes from Captain X. T2100 EX9 shows us what he thinks the Titan Mark IV would look like. Spaztasm has provided probably the cutest one yet, Chibi Yuri. Kane Nash is here again with an awesome wallpaper style picture called Strength of the Generals. Now you guys know what's next. The fan art is done, which means this episode is almost over. But what a great episode it was. As per usual, you can leave your feedback below in the comments or on the forums, and you can reach me through my email sybert.replays@gmail.com. And if you have news, fan art, or anything Command & Conquer related, you can reach nodsoldiergirl through her email, nodsoldiergirl@hotmail.com. And we'll see you on the battlefield, Commander.